Hello, ladies and gentlemen, crypto deep divers. Welcome back to Weekly Crypto. Today, I'm going to talk about Bitcoin. Yes, people are talking about the price pump for Bitcoin and Litecoin as well. People are saying that give a reason, or maybe because of the ETF. Oh, guys, just forget about the ETF. They have been talking about that for the past 3 or 4 months, or even 6 months. ETF is not good to the crypto community. Just in case you're new to the channel, you can go back to my previous video. Why back is not good to the crypto community at all. So just forget about those ETF. Nobody knows the bottom. Maybe we're near the bottom, but nobody knows. Only the whale will know. So before we get into that, make sure you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out the upcoming airdrop or hard fork. Also, you can follow me on Twitter as well. So let's talk about the Bitcoin Lightning Network. So the Bitcoin Lightning Network hits about 6,000 nodes. And so basically, this is they hit the new record high across the board, and the growth continue in 2019. And it right now has 6,000 node, 2.4 million capacity. And this is the number of active node channels and overall transaction capacity of Lightning are now at higher than ever in its 13-month history. And the real-time Lightning Network statistic is number of nodes is over 6,000, number of channels over 24,000, network capacity 659.97 Bitcoin, and this is up 16%. And the nodes with active channel over 3,000, and new node is 43. So new channels is 851, is almost like 98% increase. And the Lightning Torch basically is a relay transaction being bounced back between the nodes. And they has gained participation from Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey. And this is like a widely popularized event last week. And right now, there are currently a total of 6,048 reachable nodes and 25,000 channel capacity, around 660 Bitcoin. And I think this is good because I think the goal of the Lightning Network is to allow huge number of Bitcoin transactions to occur instantly, and then with no fee required. I mean, if you want to do transactions, and of course you don't want to have pay any expensive fee, right? That will not be good for mainstream adoptions. You want something, the transaction, you can make tons of transactions without paying a huge fee or minimum or no fee. That will be good for mainstream adoptions. I mean, this is just, I think that is good. That will be good to the crypto community as a whole as well. And I think they are working. They also have wallets, stuff like that, and also Jack Dorsey, he talked about doing a Bitcoin micropayment in Twitter. That will be cool too, because if you do the micropayment, that will increase the more mainstream adoption as well. So I think that will be interesting to see how it play out for this Lightning Network and all that. So what do you think about the Lightning Network? Please comment below. I would love to hear from you. So the next stock we'll talk about, the next is this the next DOTCOM? Like 95% of the cryptocurrency will be useless or fail, or 95% of the project will fail. Oh, this is based on BitWise market analysts. So this is based on the historical data, what happened in the past of the dot-com bubble. And so basically, they're saying that 95% of the cryptos are useless. I'm not surprised. I mean, if they don't have real case usage, they are just, and also there's no reason, because if the existing system can use it without need any blockchain, so there's no point. If you just duplicate whatever in the traditional system, and you use blockchain, you just defeat the whole purposes. Because if you can use the traditional system without blockchain, there's no point in the blockchain, right? But the thing is, so they talk about the dot-com era. Remember in those days, still the 95%, almost all the projects of failed in the dot-com boom, in the dot-com bubble in the 90s and the earlier 2000. So they are talking about, I think those parallels are accurate, and I think this is the next dot-com. But remember, the dot-com bubble created pack.com and Amazon or Google, and also Yahoo, right? But Yahoo is not that. Yahoo is acquired by Alibaba. And so basically they are saying that that right now 2,000 cryptocurrency out there, 95% of them are useless and will die a painful death. The sooner that happen, the better, because you wipe out you cleanse the system. Basically, you wipe out all the junky project and it leave out the winner. So this is, I mean, to me, I'm not surprised 95% of the project fail, because some of the projects are pretty just based on, I think they have no real world usage case at all. They are just here probably doing, I don't know, everybody can create a coin nowadays, right? And so the thing is, out of all this shit coin, you have to find the winner. So you have to find another Amazon, you have to find another Google, another, those big winner from all this shit coin. So, and they talk about cryptocurrency value chain still years from the full realization, and I don't think it takes too long. I think it will be very soon, maybe 2 to 3 years. For mainstream adoption, maybe another probably 3 years. I mean, I think in the next 3 or 4 years there will be big changes for this. And if the US dollar collapse, then maybe they will switch to cryptocurrency. You don't know. But it's hard to tell right now because this is difficult to tell, basically. So basically, a selling point of the cryptocurrency is because of the decentralized technology, and also you don't have to go through a middleman or intermediary party. Basically, you are your own bank. You can send money to your friend without going through the bank. You can send money to anybody around the world as long as they have another crypto wallet, stuff like that. They have a big Bitcoin wallet or Ethereum wallet, So I think the banking industry will be disrupted for sure. So that is a real world case, because you can basically send money overseas without going through the bank or going through the SWIFT system and all that. And he talked about real-world applications of this ability will have significant implication on the cost of trust. Well, I mean, in the crypto world, you don't have to trust anybody. Everything is recorded on the blockchain. So basically, the blockchain, the public ledger, is the trust. So you don't need to trust anybody in the crypto world. You just send from A to B, and that's it. You don't need to trust anybody. Why you need to trust anybody? You are your own bank, isn't it? And he talked about that we are still in earlier days, still a lot more work still required before cryptocurrency can reach their full potential. Yeah, maybe true, but I think in the next 3 or 4 years there will be big changes too. And look at the development of AI. AI, the growth is exponential, and you can see they can learn very quickly. They can learn very quickly than human. So eventually the AI is going to dominate the human race. So right now, I think we are in a very dangerous place right now, because there's no regulation how you can do AI. Anybody can do AI. So it's up to the person how they program the AI. They can program them for good, or they can program the AI, the bots or the Android for bad, or they can be as a killer machine. You don't know. So it's pretty scary world in the next 5 to 10 years or even 20 years out. And the next generation of your kids will compete with another AI, not compete with human. And just forget about all these jobs taken by somebody else. No, the job will be taken by AI. And Uber, self-driving car, and Tesla, they have a self-driving truck, and there's a whole bunch of things going on. And basically, there will be no more pizza delivery guy. You can deliver pizza using those drones, right? Drones can deliver pizza. And also, maybe when you get to a building, there will be no more receptionists. You probably talk to an AI, okay? And then you have to identify yourself, show your license, blah, blah, blah. And before you get approved by the AI to get into a building, right? Or get into a hospital, get into a certain type of government buildings or commercial building. That would be interesting to see, You have to approve by the AI. And then the AI maybe serve as a police force too. That's even more scary because they can shoot you. If they met certain criteria, if for example the yellow vest movement in France, and maybe the AI have certain instruction from whoever programmed the AI. Okay, if they throw stuff, you can shoot them, or if they push the AI, you can shoot them. You don't know. So the AI basically no emotion. They follow orders, they just shoot you. So this is pretty scary. So that is the future. And if you have kids, you better train them, probably get into artificial intelligence or become a hardcore programmer. You can program those Android, don't do some non-technical work. It's not going to work. You're going to compete with AI. Or you can do some highly critical thinking work that cannot replaced by AI, or highly creative work that is more difficult replaced by AI. So the next stop, we're going to talk about how do you beat the bankers at their own game. So I don't know what's your reason of getting into cryptocurrency. Some people, they get into cryptocurrency because they don't want their money in the bank. They don't trust the banking system after the financial collapse in 2008. And don't forget, remember Bitcoin, the introduction or the beginning of Bitcoin is because after the financial crisis in 2008. Don't forget that. So you don't have to trust any intermediaries party. You can just be your own bank. If you lose your password, if you lose your passphrase, then your money is gone. So you got to take control of your own money, basically. So basically, they're talking about as absolute control over people and resources is the ultimate goal. So that is absolutely true. The reason why is because people need to understand the bankers need to collapse everything and leave the population in despair, and then they need the resources and supply. Then they will rely on the elite or rely on the institution, right, to help them. So then the government will say, I'm going to help you. You lost everything. And the bankers will want to show up after the population has lost everything in a collapse. And that's how they gain control over you. And by offering the resources, and then in exchange, you have to compliances, follow them just after the 9/11, the Patriotic Act, and everything has changed. And you give up your privacy, you gave up your freedom, and in return you got some protection from the government or surveillance from the government. That is unfortunately. So there's several actions you can prevent those people from gaining control over your life. You must be able to feed yourself. Basically, maybe you need to have your own garden. You have to have some small farming at your backyard or something like that. And then you must have a home to live in that you own free and clear. And you need to have your own energy company, basically solar panel, right? And I have seen a solar grill, right? That's very interesting. It's not that expensive, that solar grill. You basically have a solar panel and you can grill some stuff. You need to be at your own bank. So that's why a lot of people get into cryptocurrency because of that, because you own your private key, you own the coin. And you need to be able to defend what you have. Maybe you need to get a gun or ammunition, stuff like that. You need to have skills to operate your own business, and you need to promote a community-based economy, basically barter system. So you barter with your neighbor. For example, you give your neighbor some eggs in exchange. You want some, for example, you need water or books or whatever. So you just go back to barter system that the bank cannot control, because you can barter anything you want, right? To put it simply, you need to get out of their game and start your own. Remember, the house always win. Basically, remember, the bankers always win. You know, when you go to Vegas, the house always wins, right? So the bankers can only win the game if people are dependent on the elite for everyday necessity. And the bankers have created a society of dependent people that they can exploit. That is absolutely true, because when you, for example, if you go to buy a house and you basically get a mortgage from the bank, and the bank basically get all this free money from the Federal Reserve. Remember, after the financial crisis, the Federal Reserve giving all this free money to different banks. So some of the community banks, like a credit union, some of the credit unions told the Federal Reserve, hey, I don't need the money. I didn't have those toxic loan or toxic mortgage-backed security. I don't have all this thing. I don't need your money. But the Fed told them, no, every bank gets some type of money. So they get all this free money. In turn, they loan this money to a little guy to get a home mortgage, which is charged you about 4 or 5% for 30-year or 15-year fixed mortgage. So basically, you rely on them, unfortunately. But another way you can see that you can also use this leverage to your advantage as well, depending how you see that. But I'm not a financial advisor. Just use your due diligence. And leverage is not bad sometimes, but you got to be very careful how much you leverage though. And so early Americans were largely self-sufficient in many things, and they prevent the bankers from controlling everything. Because back in the old days, you have your own, probably you raise some chickens, you have some eggs, and you probably have some garden at the back and stuff like that. But right now, in the modern days, right now, I think a lot of people are too busy working with their 9 to 5 job. They don't have time to do this anymore. And used to be in the old days, you just have one single income, right? You set for life, and the wife stay at home mom, and the dad have a pension. I think nowadays all this are history. Now you have to have two-person working just to meet the barely meet the needs, right? And and also they have little the bankers have little control when gold and silver are used in a cash transactions. Or maybe you should put some of the money like as a insurance policy in silver and gold. Once again, I'm not a financial advisor, so use your due diligence as well. And remember, Federal Reserve was created in 1913, and this is the mechanism to control the people. Unfortunately, they created in 1913. Everything has changed. So used to be really a free market economy, but not anymore. So they have all this. They just create this little funny money whenever they want, and so basically, you need to be self-sufficient. So basically, all this article, they talk about freedom is a result of self-sufficiency. Don't depending on don't depending on the institution. The more freedom you have to make your own, the better you can choose, right? People can make your own choices. So people who make their own choices are difficult to control, and once people realize they can live without the bankers and the government entities, the collective power of this entity will fail away. So it looks like this article sounds like doomsday. So basically, you have to have your solar panel, you have to have your rain barrel to collect all the rainwater, as well as you have to have some kind of farming, stuff like that. And so basically, they want to talk people. They say what people do today is to free themselves from the control of the bankers, will determine what the world we will live in tomorrow. I mean, we have to look at things in a different perspective. Just get rid of all the junk at your house. Like for example, you buy a whole bunch of TV or all this extra stuff you don't even need. I think we have to go back to the basis. Just you have to decide what is need and what is want. Is it a need or want? So I don't think it's a good idea you buy whatever you want, you know. It's just if it is necessary you buy it. If not, just don't buy it. Just save all this money to do something else. Or I think we are living in a too materialistic society, and you watch too much TV game. Once you saw the advertising, you go and buy stuff. So whatever. So let me know what you think about this. How do you beat the bankers at your own game? This is pretty interesting concept that you need to be your own. It's an interesting concept to think about. I think we are living in a too materialistic world right now. And let me know what you think about this 95% of the cryptocurrency is going to fail. And let me know what you think. If you find this video helpful, smash the like button, subscribe as well, and also comment below. That will help my ranking in YouTube. And don't forget to smash the like button. Also, you can follow me on Twitter as well. Remember, crypto deep divers, we the people take control of our money. Stay wise, stay safe, peace. I'm not a financial advisor. Investing in cryptocurrency or ICO has inherent risk. Please use your due diligence.